Hey guys, good morning. You ever show up to work and you find just a mess and you just gotta clean it up because you can't work with a mess like that? How are you supposed to do your job when you can't even move around the job site and there's stuff in your way? Or you can't even cook a meal because the kitchen's already a mess before you ever start cleaning. And so what do? You gotta stop and you gotta take the time and you gotta clean it up. This reminds me of Jesus when he's coming into the temple in Matthew 21:12, right? He talks about he comes in and he literally starts just throwing tables out the way, picking stuff. And he walks up and he's like, "You people turn the house of the Lord into a den of thieves." This is like, he is frustrated, he's angry. I'm going to call this righteous anger. No, I don't believe that Jesus Christ was ever angry out of sin or in a sinful way. This was righteous anger. And he's mad because the temple of God is being disgraced and they're selling stuff, making money off the temple, doing whatever, and he comes in and he just is throwing the tables out of the way, the chairs out of the way, and then curses these people for what they're doing in there. And then he goes on to say, later in that, so in 13, and he said to them, "It is written, my house shall be called the house of prayer, but you are making it a robber's den." And the blind and the lame came to him in the temple, and he healed them. This is after he cleaned that temple out. So I ask you this, what's going on in your heart right now? Is Jesus Christ, if he wants to come in and do some work in there, is he going to first come in there with some little bit of righteous anger? Start throwing stuff to get it out of the way? And maybe it's going to be a little uncomfortable at first because, well, there's years of debris stacked up in your heart that needs to be cleaned out. And Jesus is coming in and he's going to clean it out. And if it feels like he's doing it out of anger, I assure you it's love that he's doing it. It's because he wants a right relationship with you. He wants to be able to get in there and heal you just like he starts healing the people in this story after he cleans it up. After he gets rid of the people who are making a mockery of the house of the Lord, making a mockery of his name. Are you out there, on the job sites or in your place of business and making a mockery out of his name? Or are you speaking in vulgar ways or acting like the world and just not in any way presenting yourself as a grateful believer in Jesus Christ? Do you look like the world? Or do you look like a grateful believer in Jesus Christ? So I think what I was trying to get at today is there is such thing as righteous anger. And we should feel a sense of anger when our hearts are muddied up and cluttered with the things of this world. You're going to ask yourself, what did you do with the gifts he gave you, the good things he gave you? Listen, I remember getting a great bike when I was a kid. This bike was beautiful, and I was so excited about the bike that I'd received and I'd gotten. And yeah, I put miles on that bike back and forth into town and back out of town. But eventually, the thing about that bike is I got no idea where it is today. I have no idea. It's probably in a junk heap, rusted up, no good. Just like my first car or my first new car or my first snow machine or the four-wheelers, tractors, whatever it is. Those things have all come and gone. But the gift of Jesus Christ, the gift of salvation, the gift of peace and joy, that'll last forever, in eternity. So I'm just going to ask you, what are you going to do today to glorify him? So that when he asks you, when you stand before him and he says, "What'd you do with the gifts that I've given you?" You can stand there in confidence that you use the gifts that he's given you to glorify his name. So let's do this. Let's clean up our hearts today. Let's clean up the job site, the way we speak on a job site, or the way we speak around people. Let's clean up our hearts. Let's not make it a den of robbers or thieves or sin. Let's make our hearts a place where the Lord can come in and do his work through us. That we can show his love to others. The way he's loved us, that we can give that love to those around us, to the people who we come in contact with today. I'm going to encourage us all to be the light in this dark world. Let's bring hope in a hopeless world. Let's bring the hope of Jesus Christ today. Wherever we're working, let's bring that hope with us. Let's clean it up. If you like what I got to say, please hit subscribe, like, or comment. Y'all have a blessed day. Thanks.